Good morning once again to my BNI family and to dear visitors. Dhantripti Financial Consultants is the name of my firm under which I practice my financial planning. I am a certified financial planner, which is a certification in the field of personal finance. I am an MBA from IIM Calcutta and an electrical engineer. In today's presentation, I'm going to talk about what is financial planning all about, and as a financial planner, what do I do? So to start with, let me ask you some questions. Now, these are most expensive questions. I would request each and every one of you to ask these questions to yourself just as and when I go through these questions. So the first question is, how much money will I need for education of my kids? And you can ask this question to yourself. Or how much money will I need to live an uncompromised retired life? And believe me, everyone has to retire, beyond which one has to fund himself. Or will I be ever able to live my dream life? For someone, dream could be going on a world tour. For others, it could be following your passion of maybe traveling, blogging, or maybe cooking. Other question could be, have I secured my family in case of any misfortune? And here, I am talking about insurances. And finally, the mother of all question, after having worked for so many years, what is my net worth? Now, these are some questions which I'm sure most probably most of you must have asked to yourself. But why am I saying that these questions are very expensive? And the reason is that inflation is a killer. To understand this, let us look at one example. A monthly expense of 50,000 today at 7% inflation looks like this. After say 1 year it will be 53,500, or after 5 years it could be 70,000, after 20 years 1.93, and after 30 years a whopping 3.8 lakhs per month, which is almost 7 times. To understand this more, let's look at another example. If I have a saving of 1 lakh today and there is an inflation of 7%, the value of this money is going to deteriorate. After 5 years, it would be around 70,000. After 20 years, it would be 25,000. And at 30 years, it is just 13,000. So if your money is not invested at a rate higher than inflation, then actually you are not growing your money, but degrowing your money. Are we not sitting on a ticking time bomb? Okay. Now let me come to my services and how I help people avoid all this. So what do I do as a financial planner? First is, of course, I help prepare a financial plan for my clients which guide them on managing money for lifetime benefits. Now, what's a financial plan? It is actually a comprehensive document detailing a saving and investment strategy which will help us to achieve our financial goals. I call this as a personal strategy document because it helps us to reach my financial milestones. It helps you to answer all the expensive questions which we discussed in the last slide, right? It also helps you clear clutter and brings clarity on money matters. And most importantly, it helps you to avoid costly financial mistakes. Now, how am I different as a financial planner from other advisors? First and foremost, I give only advice to my clients on their personal money, looking into their financial conditions and their future goals, which means I do not sell any financial products to my clients. Now, what is the importance of this is that for a client, he can be assured that the advice is in his interest. There is no conflict of interest or any third party interest involved. So I also handhold my clients for a considerable period of time to ensure a permanent transformation in their financial life. And of course, my advice is client centric rather than product centric. Now, none of the investment products are good or bad. It all depends whether those products suit me as an individual or not. So it's very important the advice has to be client centric rather than product centric. So, what am I more like? I am like a guide, coach, a mentor, or an educator to my clients. My relationship with my clients is fiduciary in nature. It's not a commercial relationship as it exists between a seller or a buyer of a product. It is more like a relationship between a doctor and a patient, or a lawyer and a client, full of trust. I share my financial knowledge and my experience with my clients. I handhold them in a journey towards their financial well being. Now, having understood what is a financial planning all about, and what does a financial planner do, let's look at the components of financial planning. So, basically, the planning consists of five core components. The first is retirement planning. Now, here we are trying to create a retirement corpus, the right the corpus, and how we are going to achieve this corpus is what we discuss in retirement planning. In investment planning, how you go about selecting a financial product based on the concept of SLR, which means safety, liquidity, and return, so that it is a right choice for you. Thirdly, tax planning, how we can minimize our tax outgo. Estate planning, basically how we can transfer our assets and investments with efficiency and ease to our legal heirs while we are not once we are not there. And finally, of course, how we can appropriately cover our risk both on life and health through insurance planning. So, what is my offering and what do I deliver? So, my engagement with client is for a period of 12 months, and all my process is online through video and audio calls or texting. What I deliver is, of course, a comprehensive financial plan, unlimited advice for a period of 12 months, three quarterly reviews to help client implement the plan, support him on the implementation. I also give financial templates, Excel templates, which help a client to monitor his own financial health, and of course, knowledge sessions on personal finance. Now, who could be an ideal referral for me? Frankly telling you, everybody needs financial planning. But some pointers could be young professionals around 25 to 30 years of age who want to understand the secret of building wealth. Then the couples in late 20s and early 30s, as they go about expanding their family, and their challenge in front of them is how to maintain a balance between expense and saving. Or single mothers who are battling all alone, they need to understand how to manage their finances. Family men in 40s, 50s who have now big ticket goals coming right in front of them, or senior citizens at the age of 60. The question they ask is whether they have sufficient money which will outlive their life, or whether they will outlive their money. In the end, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. This is the philosophy with which I practice my financial planning. Thank you. To know more, connect with me. Please visit my website www.dhantripti.com, or subscribe to my YouTube channel Financial Bites at Dhantripti. Thank you again.